It's time.
She's spilling the tea.
This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
The Houston Police Department and the FBI are conducting a criminal investigation into the trampling deaths that occurred at the Astroworld Music Festival. Now, according to reports, they're saying they want to know if this could have been prevented in any way, but it's also entirely possible that it was not preventable for whatever reason, and that's something they have to know as well. So far, at least 14 lawsuits have been filed against Travis Scott and festival organizers, Live Nation, and score more in Harris County District Court. The lawsuits accuse the organizers of prioritizing profit at the expense of concertgoers' health and safety, and accuse Travis Scott and Drake also of inciting mayhem.
In my mind, I would think, of course, it could be preventable, but I would love to know how it couldn't have been prevented. Is there a scenario where it's just too many people to contain?
Well, there was a lot of scenarios. I heard them break it down. One, they were trying to close some of the roads around, so a lot of the people that didn't have tickets couldn't come. Because a lot of people hopped the fence. There was a couple of things that they tried to get the city to do and tried to get the police department to do allegedly, and some of that stuff they couldn't get done. So, I mean, that might have...
Well, it's complicated, they said, because there's a lot of people involved and a lot of different entities as well. So they said there's a lot of videos that they're going to have to look at, but, it's Harris County that owns the park, NRG Park, where the festival was held. But then there's also Harris County Sports and Convention Corporation. They oversee the event. The city of Houston issued the permits and had first responder authority. And then there were third parties like Live Nation, obviously Travis Scott, because he founded the festival, and private contractors who provided medical and security could possibly be liable if investigators conclude that their actions or that their negligence contributed to the injuries and deaths.
But, with the promoters, they have meetings upon meetings upon meetings. They have to have... all types of security measures, ambulance and health measures. Then they do a pandemic type of measure. Then they do a weather measure. There's mad meetings going on to these events.
Now, authorities did discover that protocols for a crowd surge were not listed in the Astroworld Festival's event operations plan. And the Houston Fire Chief, Samuel Pena, said that he believes absolutely that Scott should have stopped the show as the chaos became increasingly evident. He said the one person who can really call for and get a tactical pause when something goes wrong is the performer.
Yeah, but how is the performer responsible?
The police department. The police they can pull the show. They can stop the show.
But not only
that might really cause a frenzy.
What about
if
the people
police come on stage and stop the show?
No. They could talk to the sound man and stop the show, pull a plug and pull that. They can stop the show.
Then imagine that the police are making us stop the show.
It might be off.
That might
I just
not
wonder
go well.
if people...
They've done it before.
I wonder if these people saying that have ever stood on the stage and looked out at a crowd of 50,000 people.
Now, the venue
how can you see everything that's going on?
Does have an insurance policy totaling $26 million, but that's nowhere near what the injured and families of the dead are going to be seeking. They're saying there's certainly possible, they certainly have coverage when it comes to Live Nation, when it comes to Travis Scott. We don't know what type of insurance coverage there is, but we do know the venue's liability insurance is $26 million.
I wonder how this changes things moving forward in regard to festivals, because events like this have happened at festivals before, and I'm sure that every time something like this happens, things change. So I wonder how this is going to change, this era of festivals moving forward.
Now, we told you that day in Vegas that Travis Scott dropped out of that festival. He was headlining, but because of all of this, he just can't focus on that right now. So Post Malone has been added to close out and headline instead. All right, now Tiana Taylor was doing her show in LA, and I see a lot of performers doing this now. And so she actually stopped the show because she saw there was a fan who was slumped up against the barrier. Here's what that sounded like.
She okay? Bring up here. Come on. No. I'm about to retire. You ain't gonna see me, baby. Come on, baby. You make sure you good, baby. Hold on. You good? Say rose petal. Okay, baby. You good.
Yes, I have seen a few performers doing this, but they're not in front of 50,000 people. And it's much easier to do that when you're performing in front of a smaller crowd and not 50,000 people.
And they're doing it after Astroworld event. So it's more sensitive to people's...
Well, again, our condolences go out to all the families, and my heart goes out to them, because imagine just, going to a concert and then you don't 100%. Come home, or your family member doesn't come home. That 9-year-old who's in a coma right now.
It's tragic all across the board.
All right, now let's talk about People's 2021 Sexiest Man Alive. Stephen Colbert announced who is number one.
That was the last test. And you passed, Paul. You passed. You're sexy. I'm sexy? Paul, you're the sexiest man alive.
I'm the sexiest man alive.
You're the sexiest man alive.
I'm the sexiest man alive.
So that's Paul Rudd, who is the sexiest man alive.
I want to recount.
Congratulations to him.
Dropping the
He
clues
beat out
bombs for
everybody else.
Ant-Man. Congrats to Ant-Man, okay? Who wants Thor, Captain America, or the Black Panther? The sexiest Avenger alive is Ant-Man.
I want to recount.
Question, who votes on these things? Who's on the sexiest man alive committee? Who's on the board?
I don't know. I don't know who this Paul Rudd guy is. But
You don't
I
know
wanna
who Paul
recount.
Rudd is?
I do.
Oh, but who's on the board for sexiest man alive?
I don't know,
How
but
did they
past
come to
people who I told you last year was Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba has gotten it, Ryan Reynolds. So
I just want to know how they come to these conclusions about who's the sexiest man alive. Is it just strictly physical?
I think it's
Tell
more
us.
than that.
I don't know.
I think it's more than that.
So I think that they need to stop objectifying these men, and they need to start looking at these men's intellect and the things that they do for the community, okay, and their philanthropy and things of that nature. Don't just objectify these men.
You sound like a hater.
Why do I sound like a hater? Because I don't
know,
want
like
men to
when
be
the
objectified?
sexiest
What about
man
when women say
alive.
they don't want women to just be objectified? Isn't that what the Miss USA pageants and
I think
everybody
it-
is complaining
I think
about
it's-
now?
Did they
I think
take the
it's
swimsuit
more-
contest out of it?
Exactly. But see, when a man does
I think they like his sense of humor as well.
I'm a
lot
hater?
of that too. You know.
Great. I just want more things than just the physical.
I'm a funny guy.
To be looked into when it comes to these sexiest man alive things. Stop objectifying these men for their physical appearance.
Yeah, I want to recount.
John Legend won
definitely should've been me.
previously, Dwayne Johnson, David Beckham, and all of that.
Rashawn Casey.
Nope. All right, and he did say that his wife, Paul Rudd, did say his wife was stupefied after he told her the news, and he feels there's a lot more people that deserve it before him. All right, and
Like
that
me.
is your rumor report.
Damn it, should have been me. Mm-hmm. See, look at you looking at me. You agree?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm looking at you because you look stupefied. That's what I'm thinking. The same thing Paul Rudd's wife is thinking. This stupefied individual over here.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right, well, who you giving your donkey to?
That beard is glowing this morning, too. That's why you got that hoodie on, because
Yo,
that dye ain't settled.
Nah, ain't no
Don't
dye,
lie.
boy. This
Don't
is
lie.
woo, I look fly today. I got my fresh haircut. Look at that.
That fresh Beijing.
You like it?
Don't think we don't
know-
notice.
I don't know what Beijing
Don't
is.
think we don't notice. You had
I don't know
you
what
had
Beijing is.
go back to one of these videos earlier this week. You had
Yo.
some grades, a lot of grades. Now all of a sudden you black. You
shout
had
to my brother Rick Ross.
Boy,
DJ
you better
Khaled.
stop.
Shout out to Kevin Hart. Diddy.
All right.
Shout out to all
You
my
guys,
brothers
we gotta
out there,
go.
The
man.
Beijing gang. Drop one of the clues bombs for the Beijing brigade.
Shout
That's
out
all
to
you
my
named
brothers
just now.
out there, man.
Okay? That's all you named.
Shout out to
All
my
right?
brothers out there.
Now, Alika Unga Salifa. I think that's his name. He
That's
needs-
definitely not the
It's
name.
not, but he needs to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him this morning.
What's the name again?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.